I had pot cookies out in the open in my own home. My roommate's mom, Brenda, decided to help herself to 3 of them without asking, and ended up in the ER thinking she was dying. Now she's trying to sue me for drugging her, but here's the thing. She broke into my house. Let me back up. I live with my college roommate Jason in this duplex near campus. His mom, Brenda, is one of those helicopter parents who shows up unannounced all the time. She has a spare key that Jason gave her for emergencies, but she uses it whenever she feels like doing surprise inspections of our place. Last month I started making edibles because my state legalized weed and I have chronic back pain from a car accident. I'm not some stoner. I literally use it medicinally and it's way cheaper than the pills my doctor wanted to prescribe. I make these chocolate chip cookies that look completely normal, but they help me sleep and manage the pain. I always keep them in a clear container on my kitchen counter with a huge label that says, Jason's Cookies. Do not eat. Contains THC. I'm not trying to trick anyone. Jason knows what they are and he's fine with it since it's legal here. So last Thursday I'm at work when I get this frantic call from Jason. Apparently his mom decided to stop by while we were both out to tidy up and saw my cookies sitting there. Instead of reading the giant warning label, she just assumed they were regular cookies and ate 3 of them while she was cleaning. 3 whole cookies. Each one has about 20 milligrams of THC. That's like 60 milligrams total for someone who's never touched weed in her life. Jason found her 2 hours later sitting on our couch, completely paranoid and convinced that the walls were breathing. She was crying and saying she thought she was having a heart attack. He had to call an ambulance because she wouldn't calm down and kept saying she was going to die. The EMTs figured out pretty quickly what happened when Jason explained about the cookies. They took her to the hospital anyway because she was having a full-blown panic attack. She spent 4 hours in the ER getting IV fluids and anti-anxiety meds while the THC worked its way out of her system. Here's where it gets really messy. Brenda is absolutely furious and embarrassed that this happened. Instead of taking any responsibility for eating clearly labeled food that didn't belong to her in someone else's house, she's trying to spin this like I'm some drug dealer who set a trap for innocent people. She called the cops first, but they basically laughed at her when they found out she used a key to enter my home without permission and ate food that was clearly labeled as containing drugs. The officer told her that what she did was technically breaking and entering since Jason and I are both adults, and she had no right to be there without our explicit permission. That didn't stop her though. Now she's hired some lawyer and is trying to sue me for intentional infliction of emotional distress and her medical bills. Her argument is that I'm recklessly endangering people by keeping edibles in my own kitchen where anyone could accidentally consume them. The lawyer even tried to claim that my labeling wasn't clear enough and that I should have kept them locked up. Like what? They were in my house, on my counter, with a warning label bigger than the nutrition facts on a cereal box. Jason is caught in the middle and feels terrible about the whole thing. He's been apologizing non-stop and even offered to pay his mom's medical bills, but I told him absolutely not. She created this mess by snooping around our place and eating random food she found. The really crazy part is that Brenda is now telling everyone in their family that I drugged her on purpose. She's acting like I somehow forced these cookies down her throat instead of her just grabbing them off my counter while illegally entering my home. My lawyer says her case is basically garbage and that if anything, I could probably press charges against her for breaking and entering. But Jason is begging me not to escalate things further because it would destroy his relationship with his mom. The medical bills ended up being like $800 for the ER visit, which honestly isn't even that bad. But Brenda is demanding I pay for it plus damages for her trauma from the experience. She keeps posting on Facebook about how dangerous marijuana is and how I'm corrupting young people. Last week she showed up at my work trying to get me fired by telling my boss I'm a drug dealer. Luckily my manager just thought she was some crazy lady and asked security to escort her out. Jason finally grew a spine and took away her spare key after that incident. He told her she's not welcome in our house anymore unless one of us is home and explicitly invites her over. She threw a massive fit and accused him of choosing drugs over family. The lawsuit is still pending, but my lawyer is confident it'll get thrown out pretty quickly.